sentence structures. Like music with a variety of beats and chords, writing with a variety of sentence structures has texture and rhythm. The way sentences work together is important. Sentences should have variety, as we know, and sentences should also flow together. To relate one sentence to another, you'll sometimes want to use transitions. Does anybody want to tell me what transitions are?
Anybody hasn't gone? Jack, what's a transition?
A transitional phrase is kind of like,
Well, transition, according to the dictionary, is a word, phrase, sentence, or series of sentences connecting one, oops, little typo there, one is what that's supposed to say, one part of a piece of writing with another. So, I'll show you some examples. There are many types of transitions you can experiment with. So here are some examples. Transitions that add or continue an idea you were already writing about. Afterward, at last, eventually, furthermore, in addition, meanwhile, moreover, soon, including. For instance, at last, the weary group reached the park. Transitions that show a contrast between ideas in your writing. However, despite, but, in contrast, on the other hand, although, in spite of, not said, while. So, for instance, despite her fear of snakes, Agatha barged ahead. Transitions are the things that we use to connect one sentence to another. For instance, if we said just something like, Agatha was really, really scared of snakes, she barged ahead. Those two sentences don't really work that well together. They don't connect. So when we say something like, Agatha was really, really scared of snakes, but despite her fear of snakes, Agatha barged ahead, it connects sentence one to sentence two. So sometimes when you're writing, you might think, but what does this sentence have to do with that one? That's where transitions come in. Transitions that show you are making a conclusion or showing a result. Some like as a consequence, as a result, consequently, therefore. So, for instance, I write a lot of different essays and research papers. Sometimes when I'm doing that, I might say something like, well, fishing increased in this area. As a result, the number of fish went down. So you're basically saying that this happened because of what happened here. If you just said people fished a lot, the amount of fish went down, it's, well, putting two pieces of information together, but you would want to show how sentence A and sentence B are connected. So you would use a transition like as a result. Transitions that show you are going to illustrate your ideas. For example, in other words, in particular, that is, for instance. So you heard me, I said, for example, a lot. I said, for example, transitions that show you're going to illustrate your ideas, and I'm illustrating my ideas. So you probably use some of these a lot in your everyday life. What do you think? Have you said maybe but or however or despite before? Raise your hand if you have. Yes, I bet you have. Maybe when you go to the store and you see a toy you really want and your mom says, no, we're not getting that, and you say, but mom, please. Then you're using transition. For example, here's, I just used one. My sister is awesome, but sometimes she drives me crazy. We are always quarreling about trivial things. That means really silly, really small things. For example, my sister is infatuated, she's kind of in love with monkeys. In contrast, I prefer the more sophisticated cat. In spite of my protest, she decorated our room with horrible simians. That means monkeys. Consequently, I had nightmares about bananas for a month. Eventually, I got over it, but I'm still annoyed. That said, my sister has many good qualities. For instance, she's an excellent cook, she sticks up for me at school, and she taught me how to catch frogs. In other words, she looks after me. So let's see how many transitions we can find here, right? So let's start, where's my pen here? Okay. belt pen. And here's one, but, for example, in contrast, and words like but, in contrast, in spite of show a difference. Consequently, would you like to spot any more for me?
Eventually.
Eventually.
That
said. And for example, or for instance, sorry. And in other words. Very good. So you have spotted all of the transitions in this passage. And if I just said, my sister is awesome, sometimes she drives me crazy, that wouldn't make any sense. You just said your sister is awesome. Why are you now saying that she drives you crazy? When you use a word like, but she drives me crazy, it makes sense. For example, my sister is infatuated with monkeys. Now, if you said, we are always quarreling, that means arguing about trivial things. We're always arguing about trivial things. My sister's infatuated with monkeys. Those two don't connect. Those ideas have nothing to do with each other. But when you say, for example, you showed you're trying to illustrate a point. So transitions kind of help explain why you're doing something. Transitions can be used to make seemingly unrelated sentences flow smoothly. So, how would we connect these different topics? Otters, ballerinas, and guinea pig poop. I'm sorry about the last one. I know it's really gross, but I have a guinea pig, so I'm haunted by nightmares of guinea pig poop. Okay, otters, ballerinas, and guinea pig poop. How could we make a sentence using transitions that somehow manages to connect those? I'll start off on the easy one, ballerinas. Okay, so let's try ballerinas. Anna really loved ballet. For her birthday every year, she always went to see ballerinas perform. The Nutcracker or, let's see, it's another ballet. Any ideas of another ballet?
Paul?
Giselle.
Giselle, very good. Okay. Giselle. There are two favorites. Okay. She was, let's see, throw out a birthday for me.
Mitchell.
Wait,
A birthday. Your birthday.
what's your birthday? May?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like birthday or 11.
8th birthday.
It was her 8th birthday. Very good. It was her 8th birthday, and she was tremendously excited. Now, how do we get guinea pig poop or otters in there?
Ready? Count, go ahead.
In every play she saw, whenever she went to a play, she brought all 3 of her stuffed animal otters.
Oh, very good. Another tradition of hers was another birthday tradition of hers was bringing all her stuffed animals, which included a set of 3 otters. Okay, great. Now, we've managed to get otters in there. What about guinea pig poop? Where does guinea pig poop come in?